Hola, hola, hola Julia. And hello to everyone who just joined the live. Uh, hola Julia, welcome to the live today. How's everyone doing today? I'm a little early. Usually I am here. I'm here from 9 to 11, but today I decided to join a little early. I had some time, and I also want to go to bed earlier. So I just started the live early today. But hope you guys are doing awesome today. Let's see. Thank you for sharing the live, Julia. I appreciate it. Gracias. Gracias por compartir el live, el en vivo. Okay. Ahí estamos. We got the stock. We got the platform open. Just waiting for a few more people to join the live. Come on here. It's too long now. Need to cut it. Oh, let's see what to expect for tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be a crazy day in the market. If you guys have been staying up with the news, I got a lot of stuff to share. That's why I wanted to join early today, because something crazy happened after the market closed. I think it was around 4 p.m. Pacific time when I got the news. I shared that in my profile, in my story. So if you guys don't follow me yet, go ahead and click the follow. I post all the news that come out that affect the stock market. So I posted that earlier today. So I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Paseo, Quartz. What do you mean Quartz, Paseo? Thank you guys for joining the live. I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of your time today before you probably go to bed, before you eat dinner, or if you're eating dinner at the moment. Thank you for staying in this live. I have a lot of stuff to share today, so I'm just waiting for a couple more people. Some of my dailies to join, because I want to share a lot of news with them, and I want to share with them what to expect for the in the market tomorrow. Court, yeah, court ruling blocking tariffs. Absolutely, that's what I want to share. That happened today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So that is interesting, man. That is interesting. I mean, I'm sad. Well, not sad. I'm actually happy. I sold my my Nvidia position before earnings today, because I was already in profit. So I didn't want to wait until they released earnings, because you never know. But Nvidia did pretty good. It went up, I think, 5% after market. Let's take a look. See, in the 4 hour, it went into 141. So it's about 4.8% positive today. So good earnings, good guidance. That is what pumped Nvidia towards the end of the day. So I could have made a couple $1,000s more, but you never know. So I'd rather have the money in my pocket and not think about earnings. So I'm happy that I closed my position, that I ended up positive. I mean, with the news tomorrow, it's probably gonna keep pumping until it hits resistance at 145, 144, 45. If it keeps going after that, I mean, it's all-time highs. Probably 150, 155, try to break that. Or probably hit that then rejected, bounce from the 145, and then to the moon. So, bro, teach me how to trade, Jose. Well, first step one, number one, is for you to download a broker. Are you there? Are you there yet? Do you have a broker? That's step number one. You got to do your research on what kind of broker fits your needs. Okay, there are a lot of them. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, whatever fits your needs. That would be step numero uno, step one. So make sure that you download a broker. Paseo, futures cranked. Yep, I haven't looked at them. I'm excited for tomorrow though, but I haven't looked at the futures. So let's see what that looks like. Yep. Futures are looking pretty good. All-time highs, baby. All-time highs tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. Friday, I doubt it. Fridays are pretty slow. But tomorrow, we might get there. I mean, SPY is almost at... It's 597 right now. It has resistance at 600, but with the good news, it could just easily break that. This rarely happens in the market. So you guys are witnessing history in the making. I mean, first of all, tariffs, we'd never had something so negative. I mean, tariffs, they had their positive thing. I started to understand a little bit of how tariffs work. So they're positive for the country because they bring in revenue to pay off debt, the country's debt. But then it affects the stock market, and it affects the yields, it affects the bonds. So definitely there are positive things about the tariffs, but it affected the stock market in a really bad way. So if you guys remember, a couple months ago, the stock market dipped about 20 to 25% on the S&P 500, which, I mean, it's happened before. We've had bear markets in the past, but the thing that's never happened before is the recovery. Okay, because the market, especially the S&P 500, always recovers. Historically, always recovers. Okay, it takes months, it takes years, but it always recovers. I mean, we saw that in during COVID back in 2021. We saw that in I think it was 2019. We saw another bear market during, of course, 2008. You guys remember the house market crisis, and then again in 2000 with the dot-com bubble. So the market has seen these kind of drops before. The thing that the market has never seen is a recovery in about a month and a half. I mean, 2 months probably. We've seen ever since Trump started to announce deals, which was maybe a month and a half ago. I can't remember. That's when the market started to recover. So we've recovered from being 25% negative to now hitting almost all-time highs. I mean, we're very close. It might happen tomorrow. And that's because of the tariffs, right? Because and I'm going to share those news in a second. So looking pretty good. So we got Jose, Futures Crank. Yep, absolutely. Katia, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I have Robinhood. So if you have Robinhood, that's a good platform to trade. I would not suggest, but you can do whatever you want. But if you're swing trading, I think Robinhood is pretty good. If you are day trading, I don't think Robinhood is the best platform because it usually lags behind other platforms that are more up to date, are down to almost a second of what's happening in the stock market. So Robinhood lags a little bit behind, and it doesn't support hotkeys. So if you're swing trading, I think Robinhood works just fine. But if you're day trading, that's a whole different thing. ¿Eres de Estados Unidos, Julia? Sí, Julia. Sí, vivo en Estados Unidos. Vivo en California, en el estado de California. Paseo, crazy. I know, man. JH, taco. Did you hear about that? What does taco stand for? Something about chicken out, right? They asked something, for those of you that don't know what that is, taco, they call Trump, they call him taco because I forgot what it stands for. Something about the tariffs and him chickening out of the tariffs, because he imposed the tariffs and then he started removing them little by little to some countries. He said there were a lot of deals that they were going to announce. So slowly he was removing the tariffs, and somebody called him, oh, Trump always chickens out. Thank you, Paseo. Trump always chickens out. Taco. That's what they call him in an interview today, like around 1 or 2 p.m. Pacific time, and he didn't like it. He seemed kind of pissed, which with good reason because they call him Taco. Trump always chickens out. Yeah, so he didn't like that. He was not happy about that. User 57. Whoa. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. ¿Qué significa call? Lisandro. What do you mean? Like when you call when you're buying a stock? Is that what you mean, Lisandro? Okay. All right. Let me before I start answering a lot of questions on TikTok and start looking at some stocks for tomorrow. For those of you that already joined, thank you guys for being here. I'm usually here from 9 to 11. That's my stream, but I think I'm gonna start moving in a little bit earlier, just because I have to wake up early, and late times are really not working out for me. So I think I need to go to bed a little bit earlier. So I'm gonna do my lives a little bit earlier, at least for the next couple of days. So I appreciate you guys being here today, tonight, giving me a little bit of your time to talk a little bit about the market, see what happened today. So my name is Gerardo. I do swing trades, and I also invest for the long term. So I'm a long-term investor. Okay, hoping to retire in maybe 10 years. That's my goal. 10 years, and I'm done. I'm done with my job. Currently, I teach. I'm a teacher at a high school, and but I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I want to retire way before that. So I've been investing in the market for about 5 years. I started the first couple years that were pretty rough. I was losing a lot, to be honest. But then the last 3 years were a little bit more profitable. I started making money, and I became a profitable trader. Eventually, after studying, after reading, after doing a lot of research. So finally, I'm a profitable trader. I've been doing that again. I've been profitable for the past 3 years. Okay, the first 2 years, like I mentioned, they were pretty rough, but for the past 3 years, I have been profitable. All right, so let's start looking at some of the news. Okay, so here's I mean I'm gonna save this for a little bit later. What broke firm do you use? My broker is, I use two. For the long term, I use Charles Schwab, and then for swing trade, I use Robinhood, because that works for me. It's on my phone. I can just buy stock whenever it makes sense. I don't have to, have the stock by the minute, which Charles Schwab with Thinkorswim and Fidelity, they have more accurate prices because they track the market to the second. Robinhood doesn't do that. But for me, it works because I'm a swing trader, so I don't really sell the same day. I just sell when we have dips. That's when I buy when we have dips, and I just keep accumulating shares, and then I just sell whenever it makes sense to me, when it hits my goal. I recommend everyone to buy a book on technical analysis. The Christian Gangster. Absolutely, man. I actually, for those of you that are here, I have a PDF book. If you guys are interested, it's free. I'm not selling anything here. I'm not like, most of the TikTokers that want you to pay a subscription or a one-time fee. I'm not doing that. So I have a PDF that's on technical analysis. And if you guys are interested and you want to know how to read charts, like the chart down here, what that means, what the candle means, what the lines mean, all of that stuff. This PDF has a really good start on candlesticks. So if you guys are interested and you want me to share that, just send me a message on TikTok with your email, and then I'll send it to you probably tomorrow. I usually, end the live and then I just go to sleep, so I won't have time to send it to you today, but I could do it tomorrow. Christian, nice, no problem, man. If you're interested, or maybe you already have one, but only if you guys are interested. I mean, it's a PDF. It's about 200 pages, I think, 180. So it does have some reading, especially if you're not familiar with a lot of terms. It'll take you a little longer to read it, okay? Because you have to go back and read it again. So, but it's a good book. I recommend that you read it to start understanding, candlesticks and when it's a good time to enter into a position, when it's a bad time, etc. So if you guys want that, yeah, just let me know. Us Shag, yeah, no problem, man. Just send me a message with your email, and I'll email it to you tomorrow. QQQ se fue para arriba. TOJ. QQQ, absolutely, man. QQQ, for those of you that don't know, QQQ tracks the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq 100, and the Nasdaq holds most of the companies in the Nasdaq. They track a lot of technology companies, and because Nvidia did pretty good, and Nvidia is a big part of the QQQ, and all the technology companies are moving up because of the news that happened today, which I'm going to talk about that in a second. Then everything is ripping. Everything is just moving in the green. It will not surprise me if the QQQ hits all-time highs. I mean, right now it's sitting at 528, as you guys can see here. Let me make this smaller. It's got resistance at, let me look at the daily. Okay, it's got resistance, two tops at 538, 540, somewhere around there. So I think that's the next stop. I mean, it's got some resistance at 532, so it might get to 532 before where is it? Before it hits all-time highs. But if we have good news, it might get there. It might get there in the next few weeks. All right. QQQ se fue. Yep. Absolutely. I send you my email in TikTok. Yeah, just send me a message on TikTok and include your email, and I'll put it together tomorrow and send it to you. Brish, send donut. Thank you. I appreciate the gift. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Sorry, guys. I'm just doing something really quick. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So breaked up cat. Do you do options? Nighthawk. I don't do options, man. The only options I do are covered calls and cash secure puts. So I do it with my own money. I don't try to predict where the market is gonna go, because with options, as you know, you have to be right on the date, and you have to also be right on the price of the stock. So you have to get those things right to get your premium and to get the stocks. It's an option to buy the stock, of course, at that point, but you risk a lot, because if you miss on one of those two, then you don't get your premium, right? So for me, it's just better to do it with my own stocks, with my own money. It's just more profitable for me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. For all of you guys that are here, again, my name is Gerardo. I do swing trades, and I also invest in the long term. I am a teacher also at a high school. I do this part-time, so the swing trading, I do it part-time. Usually in the mornings. I wake up early in the morning, about 30 or an hour before the market opens. I study, read the news, and then I look at the stocks to see if it makes sense to buy a position at that point. And then if it makes sense, then I buy the position. I hold it for a couple days or a week or a month, whenever it makes sense, and then I sell eventually. Just to give you an example, for all of you guys that know what Nvidia is the second most powerful company in the United States. They make chips for artificial intelligence, AI, and they've been selling like crazy for the past, I'll say, the past 4 years. It's grown, I don't know, I think like 2,000%. I forgot the percentage, but it has grown exponentially. It's just a huge company, and considering that Apple has existed for what, like 50, 60 years, Apple is number 3. So Nvidia is above Apple now. They have more money than Apple. So just so that you can get an idea of how big this company is. Anyways, I started buying Nvidia back in February, and then in March, and then again in April when the tariffs were announced and the stock took a very nasty dip. I kept buying Nvidia, and I finally sold all my positions on Nvidia. So I made good money today. I closed it before earnings, even though the stock went up after earnings. But that's something I didn't know, right? I don't know how earnings are gonna play. I didn't know if earnings were gonna do well or bad. I had a feeling they were gonna do okay, but because it's a stock that collects a lot of revenue, whatever little thing that goes wrong with the stock, it was gonna dip. So I didn't want to take that risk. So I just sold out of my position before they reported earnings, and ended up that Nvidia did pretty good and it went up. But I missed on a couple $1,000 because I didn't want to play the luck. Okay, I didn't want to flip the coin with Nvidia's earnings, so I lost a couple $1,000, but it's okay. I still made some money on it. Hell yeah for the win. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Chopin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. How do you? Should I sell my Nvidia stock tomorrow? Hyper agent. I can't tell you what to do, man. I mean, you know the rules with every person that talks on this platform. You can't advise whether they should sell or not. But what I can tell you is that Nvidia, because of earnings and because of the good news that happened today, which I'm gonna get to, I think tomorrow it's gonna continue to rally. Now it's got some resistance at 145 and it's got resistance at 150. In my opinion, I think it's gonna hit one of the resistance, either 145 or 150, and then pull back a little. Okay, maybe it's not gonna happen tomorrow. Maybe it'll happen Fridays. Fridays are usually pretty slow, just because a lot of options expire on, well, all options expire on Friday, and then a lot of the investors, like the big dogs, the ones that invest millions of dollars in the stock market, they don't like to hold positions over the weekend, because over the weekend a lot of shit can happen. You guys know that. They drop news, bad news, good news. Usually it's bad news. So if they drop bad news on the weekend, then your stock drops down. Nothing you can do because you can't sell over the weekend, and then you wake up on Monday in the negative. So I leave it to you. You do whatever you think is best. Whenever I have profits and it's a good profit, I'm like, the money is better in my pocket. And you guys probably have heard, when you hold positions and then you try to sell, hitting that sell button is like the hardest thing you're gonna do ever in the stock market. Like, buying is easy. You just click and I think it's a good price, I buy. You don't even hesitate when you buy stocks. But when you're selling and you're in profit, you're thinking, oh man, let it go another dollar, let it go another 50 cents. I have 1,000, I want 1,500. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, and then the market takes all that profit back. It always happens 100%. If you guys been there and have had that feeling before, or that emotion, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So I say, and I've learned over the years, if I have money in my pocket and I'm already, in the positive, and made some money in the stock, I'm like, it's better in my pocket. If it goes up $100, I don't care. I earn money. I have money in my pocket. That's not a bad thing. Nobody's gonna complain about making money in the stock market. You're gonna complain about losing money, but not about making money. Even if you could have made more, you made money in the stock market. So that's all I'm gonna say, man. You make your choice. It's up to you. Jose, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Juan, Nathan, user, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. All right. So now that we have a good group of people in the live, appreciate you guys being here. Again, my name is Gerardo. I do swing trades, and I also invest in the long term. I don't do this full time. I do this part time because I have a day job. I teach. I'm a high school teacher, but I'm trying to retire early. So that's the whole reason why I started in the stock market 5 years ago. So that's it. Before I start reading more comments, I'm going to take a pause and share with you guys what happened today after the market closed. I think it happened at around 4 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. Look at this guy. He's sad. So the courts for around 4 p.m., they stop the tariffs. For those of you that have been living under a rock, back on April 2nd, Donald Trump announced tariffs for pretty much all of the countries that trade with the United States. And even those that don't trade, he still imposed tariffs. What does that mean? Well, that means that everything that they send to the United States or used to send to the United States would have a tariff. So we as consumers would have to pay more. Maybe not directly because we don't buy when they import it, right? We buy from the stores that import those goods. But eventually, stores were going to have to hike the prices because they can't eat all of the tariffs. Some of the stores, like I think Amazon and Walmart, Trump was telling them to eat the tariffs instead of passing those tariffs to the consumer, which is you and I. So on April 2nd, they announced that. And then Trump had tariffs for all the countries at different percentages. Some of them were at 50%, some of them were at 10, some of them are 40. I think one of the highest was I think like a 60%. Other than China, because China had like a 145% tariff, even though he removed that a couple weeks ago, and put it at 10. Well, all of those things that he did on April 2nd, a court in Manhattan, a federal court, told Trump, hey man, you're overstepping. You don't have the authority to impose tariffs on other countries. So we're going to remove that, and you're not going to be able to do it anymore, right? That's what the courts told Trump in a summary. And immediately, obviously, the administration they filed an appeal, and that was like 15 minutes after the court released those news. The administration filed an appeal, which it could go back and forth for a while. But the point is that the court is now fighting. So as of this moment, or as of right now, there are no tariffs set. Okay, so everything that happened on April 2nd became undone by the court order. Now, will that stay? We don't know. We haven't heard a response from the administration. I'm pretty sure tomorrow early morning, I guarantee it, we're gonna hear from Trump. Either he's going to post something on Truth Social, which is his social media platform, and he's gonna say something about the tariffs. We're gonna appeal. We're gonna do this. That's, I already know. I already know he's gonna say something about it. So I'll keep you posted. If you don't follow me yet, follow me. I'll be posting the news tomorrow. As soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know and post a video on whatever whatever he says and comes out, to share, about the court ruling. So as of now, there are no tariffs, and obviously the stocks markets love that, because that's the reason why they dropped back on April 2nd. The SPY was almost at all-time highs. It was hitting 610, 600, 610, and then when they started mentioning the tariffs, and then April 2nd came, Liberation Day. That's when the stock market started to dip, and it dipped about 25%. So that was the only reason, because all the companies have had good earnings, good news on all the companies, great EPS, great guidance. The only thing that was holding all the stocks down were the tariffs, the uncertainty, because that's what Wall Street doesn't like. They don't like uncertainty. They want to know, hey, I want to know what's going on. I want to know, the percentage of tariffs. I want to know how that's going to affect the people in the United States. How are people going to react to higher prices? Are they going to stop buying? Are they not going to stop buying? So that's a lot of what ifs. That's a lot of uncertainty, and the stock market doesn't like that. The stock market hates it, and because there's uncertainty, all the stocks dip. But now that the tariffs are removed, well, we're back to where we were a couple months ago, and that's why you're gonna see a lot of the stocks in the green. On my platform, you're probably not gonna see them because it only shows up to when the market closed. Let's see the SPY. SPY is showing it closed at 596, but I can show you or I can tell you on the futures, SPY is at 597 right now. So it went up $1 after my platform closed. So we are at 597. Just think about the stock market close. You see this here? The SPY close. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you that. Let's see, trading view right there. So the SPY closed at 587 right there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. SPY closed at 597, 587 right here. And after the news on after the news of the court dropping, Trump's tariffs, the stock went to 597. So it went up $10, and that is, let's see, in percentage, that is about 1.5%. That's insane on the SPY. A move like that is pretty significant. So, and that was after market. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but I have a feeling that that if Trump can't stop that, because they just filed an appeal. I don't think nothing is gonna happen tomorrow. So we might see a very good day in the market tomorrow, a very green day in the market. So, wait, what time did you go on live, Julie? I just started. I just started about 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. Usually I'm here at 9, but I wanted to share, these news. I was very excited about those news. So that's why I went on this live earlier today. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So yeah, Julie. So I started earlier today, but I'll probably be here until 10:30 ish. All right, let's read some of the comments. Nvidia to the moon today, bro. Nathan, yep. I mean, you saw that, right? You saw the earnings. I didn't play the earnings, so I got out of Nvidia like around 136 something. I sold my position. I was already making a lot of money in Nvidia, on Nvidia, so I didn't want to hold it. I didn't want to risk it. So I just took my profits. But I mean, I'm glad Nvidia is doing pretty good. I could have made more money, but it's all right, man. Thoughts on Marble earnings tomorrow? Rich, we'll look at that in a second. Felix, thank you for the follow. Today, but I'm waiting on that pullback. Juan, you're waiting on the pullback? For what? For SPY? Jose, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. See, user, Juan, thank you for. I don't know if you're tagging somebody else, but if you are, awesome. If you guys are tapping the screen, hitting the likes, appreciate that as well. And if you're sharing the live, even better. That gives me more credibility on TikTok. What do you think about SQQQ? I mean, SQQQ works the opposite as the QQQ, right? So right now, I mean, I don't know if you're shorting this. Who asked me that? I can't read your name, but it works the opposite as the QQQ. So, I mean, right now the QQQ is going up, right? And it's probably going to continue to move up tomorrow unless we have, bad news in the morning. I don't know what will stop the market from moving up tomorrow. But if you're shorting this stock, there might be some possibility to make some money there. But I'm not sure what you're doing with that stock. I did bought more shares today, Nvidia, around 3 p.m. at the rate of 133, I believe. Okay, Hyper, you're probably in a different time zone. For me, the market closed at 1 p.m. I'm in the Pacific zone. So, but if for you at 3, it might have been maybe at 12. And 133, Hyper, did it drop to 133 at one point? I didn't see it at 133 today. Was it today or yesterday? Because I know yesterday it did drop to like 133, or it started at 133. Today I didn't see it drop. Maybe early in the morning, but I didn't see it drop. Maybe it did. Wait, what time? Okay, we got that. They filed an appeal already. Yeah, they did it like the minute the news came out. They just filed the appeal. But again, that's still positive news for the market, because that means they're gonna have to fight this. They're gonna have to fight this court order. So that the market will take that as a positive thing. Let's see. I'll be in limbo for at least 3 months. Volatility will be up. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna enter into any positions right now. I still have some Amazon. I have some Google, and I bought some shares of United Health. Speculative. I don't know where United Health is gonna go. I think it's got some more downside, but I'm holding that for the long term. And I didn't buy much. I bought like 10 shares, something like that, just in case it went up. But right now I'm in the negative. I'm like $1,000 negative, and in United Health, but it's okay. I'm still gonna hold it for a little while. It was just, again, just speculative money to see if I could make some there, but I didn't play it right. But it's okay. I can hold it. I'm not gonna sell it. But I still have Google and Amazon. So I think that's gonna be my next sell. Probably Google this Friday. Depends on where it ends, and Amazon. I'm probably gonna do a cover call on Amazon. So we'll see. We'll see how high the price goes. How far up on Spy, Fern? What do you mean? Like the all-time highs? All-time highs for Spy at around are they are at around 610, 611 ish, and that was from February when it hit the all-time high at around 611, 612. So, if things go the way they are right now, it's probably gonna hit that all-time high anytime soon. Any tips on where to start? I want to learn more. User A3. Step number one, you have to download a broker, okay? So that you can start tracking the stocks and get familiar with the broker too. So you can use Robinhood. That's a good application on the phone, just so you can start looking at, what stocks are good to look at, and how stocks move, when's a red day, when's a green day, and that way you'll start to get familiar with the stock market. You have Robinhood, you have Fidelity, you have Charles Schwab. Those are some of my favorites, but there are many, many more. Especially like lately, they've been releasing a bunch of them. I know I have like Ninja Trader and Moo Moo and Webull. So there are a lot of brokers, but you choose whatever you like. I mean, you can do some research on YouTube, and YouTube typically gives you like 4 or 5 choices, and then you can download the applications. You can make an account on the application that works best for you. It's free, so that way you can start giving it a try. I would start there. All right. So thank you guys for sharing the lives. Thank you for hitting the like button as well. Appreciate that. Can you check Oclo? Probably too high to buy in. Of course, Juan. Let's see. Oclo. I think we looked at that yesterday. Actually, I don't have to look at the ticker symbol. I think it was at the bottom. Right here. So Juan, check this out. On the daily, it is hitting all-time highs. You see this all-time high from back in February, so not that long ago. Let me actually look at the dailies right there. Okay, right there. I lost the other all-time high. So all-time high is at 59. Right now it is at 55. So you will need some confirmation of that breakout, a retest, to know that it's gonna keep moving up. Because it breaks and then it tries to do a retest and it just goes down. Then if you buy there, you're gonna be losing your money there, or you're gonna have to wait a long time to get that money back. But right now, just keep this in mind. You see all of these 3 lines here? Those are the simple moving averages. So the average of how the stock has been doing for the past 20 days, the past 50 days, and the past 200 days. That's the blue, the green, and the orange. And right now, the price is very far away from those moving averages. So the average is down here. And right now, the stock is all the way up here. So if you're buying up here, that's very far away from the moving averages. A lot of the investors, or a lot of the people who put in money into stocks, they wait for the stock to hit the moving averages and then they start buying. Because I mean, you see what happened. You can see what happened right here, right? When it hit the 200 moving average and it respected that 200 moving average, you see how it never crossed below that. That means that there were a lot of buyers who were looking at this and say, it's hitting the 200. I think it's a good time to buy. So they just bought the stock and it just pumped all the way to where it is right now. That's a good indicator to buy when it's a good stock. Okay, it hits the 200 and it just bounced right off. If it breaks the 200, then you wait for it to reclaim it, retest it, and then go up. Okay, so those are just my thoughts on this. But again, you could do it however you want. That is just what I would do. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So I'm glad you were able to catch that. Okay, so let me continue to share some other news with you guys. In the meantime, I'm just gonna wait for some more comments. Thanks, man. No problem, Juan. No problem. Anytime. Okay, let's keep looking at some other news. So, news on Tesla. For those of you Tesla lovers, if you guys like the stock, if you if you guys like the cars, whatever your relationship is with Tesla. So Elon Musk, you know how he has been working for Trump under the Doge or the Doge department, which is a department that is in charge of cutting a lot of waste, right? So cutting a lot of jobs, cutting a lot of stuff that is basically wasting money. So he was the lead in that department. But when he left, okay, and started working under Trump, his companies, he's got a couple of companies. He's got SpaceX, he's got X, which is the old Twitter. He's got Tesla, of course, and he's got another AI company. I forgot what it's, XAI company, I think. Um, so because he's the CEO of those companies. Like now, imagine you working for the government, and then still you have to run your companies as a CEO. I don't know how. I mean, this guy must be like a vampire. Like, I don't know if he's sleeping or what. How is he running all these companies? So, anyways, he left to work under Trump, and all of these companies started not doing very well. Twitter had some problems a couple days ago or a week ago, where a lot of the users were having a really hard time accessing X. Um, Tesla is been doing really bad for the past couple months. The sales have been dropping. A lot of it has to do with people not liking Elon being in the administration or part of the administration. So they protested, and I don't know if you guys saw the news. They were like burning Teslas around the country. Um, in Europe, Tesla's sales dropped like 67%. They just reported how many cars they sold in the month of April, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday. And from selling 14,000 cars last year in the same month in April, this month in April, they only sold 7,000. So that's half. That's a big cut. And think about it this way. Tesla makes most of their revenue, most of their money, they make it by selling cars. And they sold half of the cars that they sold last year in the same month. So that's a big hit for Tesla. And because of all of those different reasons that his companies are not doing very well, today he announced, I'm leaving the Trump administration, I'm leaving Doge, and I'm going to focus back on Tesla, become the CEO again, or at least do more as a CEO, and try to bring my company's app up again. Okay, so if you guys have been tracking Tesla, Tesla is probably going to do pretty good. It's got a little support at 560. So let's look at Tesla. Okay, so Tesla has a lot of support at 560. Oops, I meant to do that. Right here. So right around here, okay, you see that that's resistance, and this is resistance. Today it went above 560 for a bit. It closed under 560, but because of the news, I think right now, where is it at? I think it was above 560. It's 567. So this came out after, or it went up because of the court ruling the tariffs out, and also because Elon announced that he's done with his position at Doge, and now he's back to Tesla, and the stock like that. Okay, the market like that, so his stock went up. What is like 2%, 2% to 367. So about $10 from where it closed. Okay, and from here, it's got a lot of room up, probably up to, I mean, it's at 367. I see it easily hitting 380, and then probably going to 396, 400, that um, testing that price. So I see a lot of potential in Tesla. I don't like Tesla at this price. I would buy it if it was like around 200, 250, somewhere around there. At this point, I don't like Tesla. I think It's got a very high P ratio, so I would stay away from Tesla. But that doesn't stop me from sharing the good news on this stock, and I think it's gonna keep moving up. See, learned concepts. Indicators are so bad. M, yeah, I mean indicators help, but they should not be the main thing you use. Right now, I mean the thing that the move the market are the news. Okay, news move the market. So you could have the best indicators in the world, and if the news or the administration come out with more tariffs or no tariffs, those are the things that really are moving the market. So yeah. ZNBC. Jonathan, I don't think I have looked at that stock. What is that? ZBCN. Let's look at that. Market cap, crypto. Oh, that's why I never looked at this. I don't trade crypto. I do look at it just to see what's going on. Yeah, crypto. ZBCN. Um, I don't do it because I don't understand it, to be honest. I never studied like the fundamentals of crypto. I know what it is. I know more or less how it moves. Um, but I don't really trade um, crypto. But I can tell you that I mean look at this stock, man. That's crazy. Um, with stocks like this, they move up, but you know that if you've been studying the market for a while, you know that that's not the way stocks move. Okay, the natural move of stocks is to go up, okay, pull back, and then retest, then keep going back up if the stock is doing pretty good. As of now, I mean, I don't like to look at or to invest in these kind of stocks because they could have a big pump, then I buy into it, and then it drops, okay, for no reason. So if you do it and it's profitable for you, by all means, man, keep doing that. But I just don't get into those kind of stocks. Check it out, it's booming, Jonathan. Yeah, it's booming on. I mean, probably Bitcoin pulling it. That'll be my first guess. I don't know exactly. It doesn't even have like news on it, so I don't know. Maybe you know why it's pumping. I have no clue. I got it at 0.00. Oh, you got it pretty cheap. Okay. So are you planning to hold it for a little while or sell it soon for profit? What are you trying to do with this stock, Jonathan? What's your opinion on sell? Sell. I held that stock for a little while, but it was back when it dropped to like $20, and then I think it bought a company, and then it went back up. But let's take a look at sell. Dun, dun, right here. Okay. So sell it is at $34. I wonder if that also pumped in the 4 hours. Let's see. 34. It closed at 35. So it did went up a little bit with the market. But as you can see, who asked me that? Juan. So it is kind of retesting. Also, remember what I told you with the stock you asked me earlier. Um, it's also trying to retest that 200 SMA moving average. So you see that it broke through it. My opinion on this on the 4 hour chart is that it's probably gonna hit this 200. If it breaks it, you need to see a retest and have that move come up. Give you an example really quick. You see how all of these candles, okay, obviously negative candles, you see them there, or bearish candles. It touched the 200. It kept touching the 200. It kind of wanted to break through it, but it retested, and from there it jumped, right? Because it respected the 200 moving average. On this occasion, back in was it? Oh, today. I mean, actually today, it broke through it. So it broke through it. This candle did not recover. Okay, this candle did not go past the 200 moving average. So I would wait to get a retest. Okay, a whole green candle above the 200, like this candle here. Let's see if I can make it bigger. You see this candle here? Let me mark it. You see how this candle is? It closed completely above the 200 moving average. To me, okay, there might be some chance there. Try to buy maybe some shares. see if it continues to go up. The following days, it tried to break that. I would put like a resistance somewhere around this low, which was at around 34. I don't know if you see that shadow. Okay, right. Oops. Right here. Okay, right there. Okay, so you have a shadow right there, or a wick, however you want to call it. I would put my stop loss right there, and then wait to see if any of these candles hit that support. And then none of them went below that, so from there it just took off. But now it's trending under the 200 SMA. So just keep an eye on that. Let's see. Holding, it's going up for sure. Okay. I mean, it's up to you, man. Like I said, I do a swing trades. I don't hold stocks for too long unless they are in my long-term portfolio. There, I just buy and don't touch it. Okay, I'm not gonna see that portfolio until 10 years from now. But I wouldn't put crypto in that portfolio. I'd rather put stocks that I know and that I'm familiar with. Like I mentioned, nothing against crypto. It's just I don't do it. But if it was for my long term, I would put it there and I'll look at it. But if it's for a swing trade, I'm just trying to make some money out of it. You know, if again, just me, because it's been rocketing so much and moving up, I would just take some profits. I only own crypto, but what's a good stock to buy? Need stocks as well. Jonathan, I mean, I don't know, man. Are you trying to do swing trade? Are you trying to do long term? Because the answers could be very different. If you're doing long term, ETFs are the best, just because they don't move as much. They are not as volatile as other stocks. If you're doing short term, like swing trades, I would try to look for stocks that have a lot of volatility, but that stocks that are good stocks. Okay, stocks that in the long term have a lot of potential. Let's see. The federal court called off the tariffs. Canny, yeah, we talked about that at the beginning of the stream. I even posted the news on my screen, so I don't know if you can see them. We're talking about Elon leaving Doge, so that was the last thing I shared. But we shared the Trumps, the Trumps. I keep saying the Trumps. The courts dropping the tariffs. Okay. The administration already filed an appeal, so we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Trump is probably going to come out tomorrow morning and be pissed, and he's going to say something about that court. Okay, whatever it is, I don't think it's going to affect the markets, at least not in the short term. I don't think it's going to affect the markets tomorrow. The appeal definitely is going to take some time. So as of now, the markets are really liking the fact that there are no tariffs. Let's see. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm close to 1,000 in a quick day. Trade Nvidia 137 shares, average 135. I uploaded recently. Big bucks. Congratulations, man. If you're taking profit soon, congratulations. Okay, it's the hardest thing about taking profits is hitting the sell button. Okay, trust me on that one. That's the hardest thing, because you always want more, and you're thinking, oh, what if the stock keeps going up? What if I can get a couple bucks more? And so that's the hardest thing to do, that I found in the past years when I've traded, just trying to hit that and take profits. But I've learned to do it. The more I do it, the easier it becomes. And if the stock keeps going up, let it go up. I already have money in my pocket that I didn't have yesterday, and it's in my pocket. Now nobody can take it. Okay, the market cannot take it because it's already in my pocket. So I don't know if you're trying to sell soon, big buck. So, but if you made money in the stock market, good job, man. Crypto is the future, Jonathan. Could be, man. It could be. I don't think it's going anywhere. That's for sure. I don't think Bitcoin is going anywhere. One of my big issues with that though is that now everyone's talking about crypto. And when people get greedy with crypto, that's what scares me, because people keep buying into XRP, and I think XRP like took a very big dump. A couple, was it today or yesterday? But people keep buying crypto, and when you have a lot of people buying crypto, well, guess what the pros do? They're just gonna short the stock, or they're gonna sell a lot of the shares, take some profit, and then the stock goes down, and then you're trapped up there. So because it's already very high up, that's why I'm hesitant to enter into crypto and study more about that market. So that's one of the reasons. Um, Fred, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And if you guys are here and are tapping the screen, giving me some likes, I appreciate that. And you guys are following. Also, that gives me a lot of more uh, credibility for the long term, because I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers by the end of the year. I am, I think, at 1,800. So it's grown a little bit, but my goal is to get to 10K followers. So if you guys have people that want to learn a little bit more about the stock market, want to know where to start, invite them to the channel, share the live. I share some of the resources that I've used in the past with people that are trying to learn. So if you guys want some of those resources, I have a book. That's a good book to start reading on how to read charts. So if you guys are interested, it's free. Just send me a message with your email. I'll send it to you for free. So just let me know if you're interested in that. Okay. What are your predictions for the next 2 weeks after the news today? JF, I mean, it's hard to predict the market, man. I mean, you know how it works. Sometimes you can have great news, and then something crappy comes out, and now the market is going in the opposite direction. Um, but my educated prediction, again, my opinion, is that tomorrow we will probably see a green day. All of the futures, as of now, yep, all of the futures are looking pretty good. So if the stock market was open right now, it would be 1.5 positive. If the S&P 500 was open right now, it'd probably be close to $600. So my prediction for tomorrow is that it's probably gonna wake up in the green, unless we have some crazy news, right? I keep saying that because you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, do you guys remember last week when I was on the live on Thursday? I told everyone the markets on Fridays usually don't do very well because options expire on Fridays. A lot of the investors, like the big firms, they don't really enter into positions on Fridays because they don't want to hold the stocks for the weekend, because in this type of administration, something can come out during the weekend that will make the stocks drop, and there's nothing they can do because they can't sell over the weekend. So they don't like to hold positions over the weekend. Uh, and So Fridays are pretty slow. Then on top of that, if you have bad news, then I mean that completely destroys stocks, which is exactly what happened last Friday. Last Friday, Trump came out, said he was going to impose 50% tariffs on the European Union, and all the stocks dropped on a Friday. I think the drop was about 1.5%, something like that. Luckily, that didn't last on Sunday. He said he was not going to do that. So the stock market took that as good news, and it woke up in the green on Tuesday, which I also mentioned on the live on Monday. So, in other words, if I try to predict what's gonna happen in 2 weeks, I'm probably gonna be very wrong. I like to just see what's gonna happen tomorrow, and I firmly believe that tomorrow we're gonna be in the green, again, unless we hear otherwise in the news. Did you pull out of Nvidia stock? Did you pull out of Nvidia stock? Did I sell it, Carlos? Yeah, I sold my positions, all my positions today. I think I sold at around 136, and I was out before earnings. You know, I I mean now I know it was a bad idea because the stock went to like 141. I think right now it closed at 141, 142. It is at 141.66 right now. It's probably gonna try to hit 145 tomorrow. That's a resistance. But again, like I told you earlier, if the money is in my pocket, I'd rather take that money and not have to think about what's going to happen with the stock, right? Because earnings could have gone either way. It's like flipping a coin with Nvidia on earnings, because you don't know. I believe that Nvidia was going to have good reports, good earnings because of all these deals that they have been closing. But every little single thing that the investors didn't like, the stock was gonna drop, and I didn't want to take that risk. So I just sold my position and made some money, which I'm happy about. I'm start trimming. See if I see the futures turn red. I've been trading for 6 years. Good job, man. I mean, you probably big buck. You're probably profitable. You probably have. I mean, you have more experience than I do. I've been in the market for about 5 years. So you got me there. You got an extra year. So if you join the lives and we can exchange information, I mean, I would like to pick your brain as well. Let's see. Eric, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I file as a 1099 for my taxes and had to give 72 back to the IRS. Any tax tips? How long have you? Big bucks. So here's what I do, right? I own properties, so I'm also a real estate investor, and I have a real estate license. I don't practice it because the stock market gives me more money than doing real estate. But I invest in the stock market and in the housing market, and I buy rental properties. And a lot of the money that I put into those rental properties are tax deductible. Pretty much all the money that I put in, repairs and upgrades, stuff like that. All of that is tax deductible. So at the end of the year, when I file my taxes, I use those expenses that I put into to the properties, and that helps me a lot. Also, all the properties depreciate with time, and that is tax deductible. So you can also put in all of those expenses. On top of that, me driving there, that's like my job. When I go collect rent, that's my job. That's also a tax write-off because I'm using my car, I'm using my gas, I'm using my mileage. So all of those things are tax deductible. So all of that helps me when I file my taxes so that I can pay less taxes on that. So that's what I do. That's just a little trick that I use on that. Yeah, I'm interested in the book. Okay, Juan, send me a message with your email. I'll send that book to you. Big Bug, you probably have heard about the Candlestick Bible. Okay, that's the book I'm offering for free, so I can share it with you guys. You probably already have it, or maybe you've read it several times. But that's a book that Juan is talking about. So Juan, send me in a message with your email, and I'll send it to you. In the past few days, I've learned more from you than I have on my own. Hey man, I appreciate that comment. That those type of comments are the ones that motivate me to be here. Because as you know, I don't sell anything. I rather be profitable in the market and make money in the market, and then share what I've learned with you guys. You know, maybe give you a little bit of advice when you guys are starting in this business, which it's a tough business. It's a tough business. It's a business that can make you very emotional, especially when you start trading with a lot of money. You doubt yourself a lot of times. You doubt your decisions. You doubt whether you should be in the stock market or not. The first couple years, I lost a lot of money. And Big Bug, he mentioned that he's been in the market 6 years. So I mean, you probably have already been through it, Big Bug, where you buy some stock, and then you're looking at your phone or you're looking at the computer, and you want to keep looking at the stock even when the market is closed. You want to keep looking at it because you have no clue what's going to happen with your money or with your stock. And when you have to do that, that means that you invested the wrong way. When you're looking at the stock every single minute and you can't sleep because you're thinking about it, that's when you know you invested in the wrong stock, or you invested and you had no idea what you were doing. Okay. When I invest now, because that was me, okay, years ago. But when I invest now, I sleep like a baby. I sleep better when I invest now, because I know that the stock I bought was a good opportunity, and I know it's gonna pay off. Like Nvidia, when I bought it a couple months ago, Google when I bought it a couple months ago, Amazon when I bought it a couple months ago. I slept like a baby, and today finally Nvidia paid off. Google I'm still holding. Amazon I'm still holding. So probably cashing out in the next couple weeks. All right. So why not sell cover calls on Nvidia if you were so bearish, my boy? I did sell. I kept selling cover calls all the way from 120 to 136 last week. So I kept making like maybe I think like 600, 800 like every week. So ever for the past 2 months, I just kept collecting 500, 600, 1,000 I think at one point, and so I already made my money on Nvidia. That's why I my average was at 110, 110, and I was holding 1,000 shares on Nvidia. So I was pretty heavy on this stock. And today I was like, well, I'm already up all this money. I already collected so many cover calls. So why not just make profits? This is my swing trade portfolio. So my long term, it's there. No, I don't care. I'm not gonna touch that. But I why not make some profits? That's what I'm here for. I'm just here to make money. So why not collect some gains? Uh, Mission, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. What's your opinion on Elf? I'm thinking and buy. Can please analyze the stock? Thanks, bro. JF, let's look at Elf. JF, you're one of the faithfuls, man. You're always here, so I appreciate that. So whenever you give me a stock, I'll do my best to look at it. Elf Beauty Inc. Let's take a look. It's at $90 right now. It's been pumping on the daily. Man, I already I already saw something I didn't like. Let's look at the weekly. When I look at the weeklies, I usually pull the 5 year chart to see where it's at and where it's been. So as you can see, JF, it had highs of 217, and that was back in last year, barely last year. So it dropped around July of last year, August. So August of last year, July, August, and also in March. So it had like a double top. So usually when stocks have a double top and they drop from there, they're bearish, and that's what happened to this stock. So it had a double top on the weekly, and then it started dropping. Right now, it is in a downtrend. So let me show you that really quick. So you see, I'm gonna take this top here, and then I'm gonna have this line touch as many of the higher lows. So higher lows are these candles here that touch that line. See, higher low right there, higher low somewhere over here, a higher low here, and it looks like it's starting to break out of that downtrend. I don't know if it had good news. I mean, you probably know this stock better than I do. Um, so see, somewhere around there. I mean, it looks like it's starting to break out, but it's still trending under the 200. And like I said earlier, this is a very powerful moving average. It has to break it to so that I know that it's going to continue that move up. Okay, break it, retest it, and keep moving up. Otherwise, because that way, and this is just playing it the safe way. If it breaks through the 200 and then it retest, at that retest, maybe I can buy some. And then if it keeps going up, great. If not, I can set my stop loss somewhere a little bit below that 200. That way, if it goes up and it was a false breakout, I don't lose too much. No, but if it's a good breakout, then everything that moves from there, it's gonna be my gain. So always look at the 200 moving average. That's one of the most powerful support and resistances. Okay, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Nevea, for the follow. Flameboy, Big Bug, Big Bug. So you're following me now, man. I gained your trust. I appreciate that. Tokyo Anime, thank you for the follow. Jorge, appreciate your follow as well. Let's see. Do you file yourself or CPA? Carlos, I file myself. I use a lot of the online tools, and I do. I've been doing my taxes for like 10 years, 12 years. Uh, so I do it myself. Take my time. I take like a week to file it correctly, but I do it myself. Okay, so JF, I hope that helped you a little bit. That's my next step. I want to get into real estate. I live in Santa Maria, California, Santa Barbara. Okay, so I live in California too, Big Buck. I live in the Central Valley. So here it's a little bit cheaper than where you live. I know where you live, it's like pretty expensive. But yeah, so I bought some rentals. I think last year I bought one, and the year before that I bought another one, and those help me with big tax write-offs. So those help big time. What's good broker for futures? What's a good broker for futures? Austin, I think all of the brokers give you futures. I use Robinhood. That's the stock that I have pulled out, or the application that I have here. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it there, but that shows me all the futures. You just gotta look at the ticker symbols, and it'll show you the futures. You can just Google like what are the ticker symbol for the futures of the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, and all your broker should show you those. I think I don't know. I mean, I'm using Robinhood and it shows me, but I'm pretty sure all the brokers show you futures. Um, my biggest loss in the day was 22,000. Spy on spy calls. Yeah, those hurt. Those hurt. I'll tell you a story one day, Big Buck. When we build more trust, I'll tell you a story. But yeah, I think if you're now a profitable trader, at one point in your life, you lost a lot of money and you were not profitable. If you didn't go through those steps, I mean, I don't know what you did, but if you didn't go through that, then you're probably not a good trader now. Okay, because all the good traders went through those things and then broke through the emotions, lost, tried to give up but didn't. We all, I mean, all good traders. I'm not saying I'm a good trader. I don't think I'm not even close. I'm profitable, but I don't think I'm a good trader yet. I'm not where I want to be. But all of the good traders, I think they have gone through all of those things, emotions. They have gone through, you know, not being profitable. They have gone through definitely a lot of bear markets, which that could be very emotional too. Bear markets and uncertainty and all of those things that come with this profession. So, in order to be a good trader, in my opinion, I think you have to go through a couple of bear markets. You have to go through a lot of uncertainty in the country, um, and that way you know that these things happen. Okay, you'll get it. You'll get the experience firsthand. Things like this happen in the market. Sometimes you're gonna see. Some years you're gonna see green, and you're gonna end up positive in the year. Some years are not that great, right? Some years are not gonna be that great. So you gotta have a little bit of exposure of everything. What's a good broker? Okay, we got that. I've been thinking of leap calls for 2027 on Amazon Strike, 2020 calls. So I mean, Amazon is pretty close to that, isn't it? I think it closed at, let's see, I think it closed at like a 211 or 210. That's the last time I saw. Yeah, it's at 211, 211.28 right now. I mean, if the market was open, this stock is ripping, and it's liking the no tariffs, right? Because Amazon is the one that was the most affected because they bring products from all over the world, and all the world got affected with the tariffs. But now that there are no tariffs, I think Amazon is the one that's gonna move up the most. And I got some shares on Amazon, so I'm trying to get out of that as well. I may do some cover calls, and if they get executed, great. If not, I keep my stock and I keep my premium. So I like that. Ultra Beauty is a better buy. It's backed by my boy Buffett. He purchased a couple shares last year. Oh, did he? I know he like Buffett. He sold like out of most of his positions, and he was holding a lot of cash. Man, that boy. When everyone thought he was crazy because the market was ripping, and he sold out of everything, and find out that he sold out of everything because a month later or 2 months later we saw this thing with the tariffs and the stock market took a dip. Now who's laughing, right? But again, this guy's probably got a lot of information on stuff that happens. He's not only a smart guy, but he's got a lot of insider information. So if I had that, I probably would have sold out of my positions too. Kill Billy, thank you for the follow. LCTX menaced. Let's look at that really quick. Oh no, LCTX. Okay. Cell therapeutics. Okay, let's take a look at that. Penny stock, man. Penny stock, very dangerous. Big Bug, what do you think? What's your opinion on penny stocks? I don't do penny stocks. I do companies that I know are reliable, that have fundamentals, that I know are not pump and dump companies. This company looks like it's a pump and dump, which means it has aggressive moves up, aggressive moves down. So that's just my opinion. I don't know what you think. Big Buck, you are, you have a year more of experience. So tell me what you think about penny stocks. And also, who asked me that? That was Menace. It's also in a downtrend, man. So you're trying to get into a stock that is in a downtrend. Rule number one, that's the first thing you look at. After you analyze the company, you look at the fundamentals. If it's a good company, then you look at, okay, what is the company doing right now? In this case, it is in a downtrend. You could see that line going down, right? Hitting, um, you see, just it's in a downtrend. It's a penny stock. I would not touch this if it was me. But up to you, man. You could do whatever you think is best. QQQ reached 500. SE Flow. QQQ is way past 500. What do you mean? I think it's like 5. I mean, it closed at 518, but in the 4-hour chart, after the market closed because of the news of the tariffs being dropped, it went up to like 528. It might be like a 530 something right now. Let's check it out. Yeah, 529. So, let's see, 529. Yeah, so it's a 529 right now. It was at 530 earlier, but it's way past 500. JF, Ulta is better by not financial advice. Big Bug. Yeah, we got to say that, right? Do you do options or equities? Jorge, I don't do options. I like to play with my own shares. Options are good, but you could lose a lot of money doing options. I mean, you can ask Big Bug. He's an experienced trader, and in the live, he's commenting a lot of the things that he's gone through. So he said he lost 22K in a day, and I think it was options, right? Big Bug. That's how you lost the 22K on options. But it was at the beginning. I was using too much money. Yeah, a lot of us want to get rich quick, right? And we got to learn that that the stock market, you could get rich, but in the long term, it's patience. It's studying the stock. Okay, don't expect to get rich in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But if you can make it consistent, maybe get a $50 every week or $50 every month. Maybe next month you turn it into 100. Then the following month is 300. Then eventually you're making $500 a month. I mean, that's your car payment right there. That's great money. $500 a month. That's great money. That's money you didn't have before. And eventually you turn that as you create more capital, and invest more money and learn more of how the stock market works, and know when to take opportunities and when it's a good day to just skip the day. Okay, because sometimes the best trade is not to trade. You probably guys, you probably have heard that before. So yeah, what's your take on Nvidia, holding or selling? Jay the lead. I sold all my position on Nvidia today. I was not gonna hold it for earnings, even though it did pretty good on earnings. So if you guys held Nvidia, props to you, because you probably were nervous watching this stock, or maybe you're planning to hold Nvidia for a long time. I wasn't planning to hold it for a long time because I know eventually it's gonna dip. And let me share that now that you guys mentioned that. And before the market closed, Trump announced this. Okay, he said that he's going to tell U.S. chip designers to stop selling to China. This came out like before the market closed, and that's why Nvidia, I think it was at 137, and it dipped down to like 134 something before earnings, of course, before the market closed. But this is not good news, okay, for Nvidia or for U.S. chip designers, because China is a big part of their revenue for a lot of companies. I think Nvidia, when they reported today, they said that that they would have reported 8 billion more if they would have been able to sell their H20 chip to China. But because of this kind of restrictions, they lost $8 billion in revenue. So just imagine. Even though they said that drop in revenue, they're gonna report that in the next quarter. Okay, so the next quarter is I think they are expecting 45 or 46 billion dollars in revenue for next quarter. That's counting taking into account that they're gonna lose $8 billion because they're not selling to China. So these are not good news. So that's the reason why I didn't want to hold it, because stuff like this comes out all the time. But I was still up about 20 about $20, 25, $24 per share. So I was doing pretty good, man. So I just got out of my position. What is the brokerage app you have up to analyze? Oh, Flameboy. This one here. Uh, this one here is called TradingView. There are other applications that you can use. There's another one that's called TC2000, I think. And then there is Thinkorswim. Those are some of the most commonly used, especially Thinkorswim. I think is used by a lot of the pros. I like TradingView because that's the first platform I was exposed to, and I like it. It's more colorful. It looks more modern than Thinkorswim. So this is the one I use. Had to learn the hard way to respect my stop loss and my strategy and how to stay on the sideline. Yeah. So like I said earlier, right? Sometimes no trade is the best trade. So some days they're just not good for trades. What about Nvidia? Palm Tree. Nvidia had good reports today. They reported, I think, $44 billion in revenue. See, I have it here. Yeah, so $44 billion in revenue, 60% margin. They had a better EPS. Let me put that on here. Nvidia right there. And I think their EPS was also, they beat EPS as well. And the guidance is always the most important thing, because they could beat revenue, but if the guidance, what's gonna happen in the next 3 months, is not good, the stock drops. They could beat revenue by billions, but if the guidance is not what investors want to hear, then the stock drops. But in this case, the guidance was pretty good. They said, hey, we are gonna have a new chip in production already, which I think is like the next generation of Blackwell, which is their newest chip right now, the one that everyone wants. Meta wants it, Amazon wants it. So and then they're selling to Saudi Arabia. So they're producing the newest chip already in production. So I mean, the news on Nvidia are great. And then they have more companies like Oracle buying more Nvidia chips. Tesla, they said they were gonna buy 1 million chips from Nvidia. So they're just selling stuff like hotcakes. So good things about Nvidia, man. Right now it's gonna hit all-time highs, so I'm not gonna enter into this until it has a nice pullback to at least 125, 120. Then maybe I can get some shares. What are the numbers on the right side on the chart? Which numbers? Like these numbers here? These are the price for the stock. So this is how you keep track of how much the stock moves up and down. Are those the ones? Those are the ones on the right side, right? Let me join your live. Big Bug. We can plan it, man. We can plan one day and for sure join the live. The problem is that I'm streaming from my computer, so it's not the same as with the phone. With the phone, I think you just click someone to join the live, and then you can invite that person into the live. From the computer is different because I'm on Streamlabs, and I don't think I have that choice here. But we can plan it one day. I would not be against that. Menace, thank you, no problem. I meant to say, let me join your live. Yeah. So when I'm on or when I figure this out, I don't know how to do it on Streamlabs. I don't even know if it's possible. Then we can plan something like that. So I have no problem with that. Do you do options or equities? I don't do options. Jorge, I do equities. What about DEFT? Mike, let's look at DEFT, Mike. DEFT. What is that? DeFi Technologies. It trades in the Nasdaq. So let's see. It's a $3. I already know it is a penny stock, and it looks horrible. I can tell you that just by look at this thing. It is a mess. It's a penny stock, man. With penny stocks, you are running a big risk that you buy a certain price. You might be lucky and the stock pumps and then you make some money. But you can also be unlucky and stay there, and then the market is going to take all that profit back. Okay, so I don't do penny stocks. I don't know if you're still here, Big Bug. What's your take on penny stocks? I don't do penny stocks. That's like buying a scratcher at the gas station, hoping that you can get some money on that scratcher. It's exactly the same thinking with these kind of specific stocks. Okay, if you choose a right stock, a good stock, then now we're talking. Okay, but if you pick one of the penny stocks, that's you hoping, okay, that the stock goes up, because there's nothing that moves this kind of stocks. Sometimes they pump on news, um, but then as soon as they go up, they come back down. I'll give you an example. That not that long ago, I have a friend who asked me about Saida. Where's Saida? Right here. So he asked me about Saida. He said he bought it at $1, okay, or 120, something like that, and he was all the way up here at $8. And when he asked me about that, he was up there, and I told him, this is not a good stock, but you're already. I think he bought like 1,000 shares. So 1,000 shares, and he was at 8. He was up, uh, what is it, 700%. So I told him, take some profits, man. Take some profits. Take your 7,000, and then if it goes down, then you can buy more if you want to. If you're into this stock, I'm not, but I never give financial advice, right? Because legally we can't do that. I'm not a financial advisor, but I told him, if I was you, I would take my profits. I would take my $8,000, because it made me $7,000 in like a couple days. So if it was me, I would take that money. And he said, no, I think it's gonna keep moving up. And I told him, based on what? What's your information? How do you know this stock is gonna keep moving up? Because I think it had news that it bought a cell phone company or something like that, and that's why it pumped. But I told him, take your profits. Take your profits. If it was me, I would take them. He said, no, I think it's gonna keep going up. I'll say, okay, it's your money. You do what you think is best. And now the stock is on a dip. It's at 410. So if I don't know if he's selling right now or not. He hasn't asked me anything, at this point. But I mean, he was at 8,000. Now this stock is at $4. So he lost half of what he could have made if he would have sold, when it hit that point. So for who asked me about that, that was Mike. So kind of the same thing, man. If you buy that stock and it pumps, take your profits. If it doesn't, then just know that penny stocks are very dangerous. Dylan, G Pro, what is that? G Pro also trends in the Nasdaq. Okay, also penny stocks, kind of the same thing. I mean, you gotta see this. You gotta see this downtrend, trending under the 200 SMA. Keep dropping. So bad stocks to investment. I don't do penny stocks. Yes, on the same day expiration calls, options are dangerous but addicted. Yep. Yeah, man. I mean, easy money, right? Sometimes. Milan, thank you for the follow. Do you think that the new about the chips will affect AMD? What I showed you, JF, I think everything is gonna affect AMD. The only reason why probably the stocks, how did AMD do after market? I didn't even check. The only reason why the stocks are moving up are because of the news on the tariffs. But I mean, you guys know that. I mean, you've been probably, if you're tracking the market, you guys probably know that the administration are the ones that move the market. So AMD is at 115 right now after market because of the news of removing the tariffs, not because of the news that came out before that said they were going to have some restrictions on selling to China. So I think it's going to affect AMD. I think eventually they're going to put more restrictions on the chips that are going to different countries. And I believe AMD is going to be affected. NVIDIA, of course, is going to be affected. And when that time comes, that's where I'm going to enter into a position, because it will come. It seems, I have a good feeling that because Nvidia is making a lot of money selling to all of these countries, and Trump wants money to stay in the United States. He wants money to pay off the deficit, right? To pay off the debt. I have a feeling that he's going to impose tariffs or some kind of deal that takes revenue from selling chips to other countries. He's probably gonna say, if you want our chips, this is how much you have to pay on tariffs, or this is how much you have to pay for the chips, or something like that, because of the news he released today. So I have a feeling that something like that will happen in the near future. Again, just personal opinion. Laura, what about Robinhood? What's the ticker symbol for Robinhood? I know I had it at one point, but I forget. I mean, I deal with so many ticker symbols that I forget them. User 14, thank you for the follow. User 14, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate it. And if you guys are tapping the screen, give me. I'm low on likes today, guys. Come on, give me some love. Tap the screen, give me some likes. That helps a lot, so that the channel gets to more people. So appreciate that. See, Matt Traders, what was that 2% candle? On what, Matt Traders? On this or the SPY? I forgot what I was looking at when you mentioned that comment. So let me know which one and we'll look at it. G Delight, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. JF, are you planning to buy something tomorrow? JF, no. Now the markets are moving up. Actually, I did something impulsive today. When the news came out at 4 p.m. Pacific time, I bought Apple. I bought some Apple because Apple was already like at $202 when I bought it, and it was just impulse. I just should not do that, but because Apple was being affected with the tariffs, and you know how Trump said, I'm going to impose 25% if the phones are not made in the US, blah blah blah. That's the reason why Apple dropped so much, from like 220 to 210 to 200 to 196, where it was at the beginning of the week or last week. Apple was very affected by the tariffs, but if there are no tariffs, guess where Apple is gonna go? So I bought some Apple. Speculation. I have a stop loss with Apple, so if it doesn't play out, fine. As of now, it's already given me some profits. I'm already up like 3%. So, if I make money on Apple, great. If not, it'll sell and I'll take a little loss, but it doesn't matter. Or I can hold it for the long term. Okay, because Apple's got a lot of potential right now. It was suffering because of the tariffs. So I'm not buying anything tomorrow, JF. I already bought some today. I still have positions on Nvidia. I'm not Nvidia. On Amazon and Google. So, and Apple now. Thoughts on SPY? Let's see. Sunny, thank you for the follow. Jose, NVTS. Let's get to Jose and NVTS. Let's see. NVTS. Wait, I tapped like an extra letter. NVTS. Navitas. Oh, I think I looked at this. Isn't this the company that was added or partnered with NVIDIA? Jose? I think that's the one, right? So, I mean, you see what happened. Once that was announced, the stock skyrocketed. Now, here's my problem, okay? Very short explanation, Jose. If you bought it at $1 and now you're up, awesome, man. Take some profits. No, that's what I would do. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do. The reason why is because Apple, it's partnering with this company, but this company now is dependent, not Apple, NVIDIA. This company is now dependent on NVIDIA. If NVIDIA cuts ties with this company, guess where this company is going to go? Okay. So when a company like this is dependent on another company, I'm very hesitant, because NVIDIA did the same thing to I think it was Big Bear AI, or SoundHound, one of those two. I think it was Big Bear. They were buying a lot of shares. I think it was SoundHound AI. They were buying a lot of shares, and then when NVIDIA dropped those shares on that company took a very nasty drop. So that's my only problem with this company. That is partnering up with NVIDIA and it's dependent on NVIDIA, not on this company. Okay. Again, when NVIDIA gets tired of this company is probably going to drop. And I mean, you saw that pump. it did a little pullback because naturally that's what stocks do. They pump and then they pull back, right? As of now, it's got some resistance of $4. So I would wait to see if it hits those $4, if it respects that resistance and then bounce back, or if it breaks through and fills this gap here. See this gap here that it left on that big jump? That's a big gap, and gaps always fill. Keep that in mind. See, that was okay. Follow the host, Jay the Lead. Thank you for the follow. So not buying. Thoughts on SPY 2-1. Thoughts on SPY. Let's look at a SPY. SPY on the 4-hour. I'm gonna show you the 4-hour because that's where it got hit the most, or it got green the most because of the news on dropping the tariffs. So the SPY is at a 596, which it was a resistance from back in May 25th. It hit that, the 595, 596 back on May 25th, and also back in February. Okay, so since February we haven't seen these levels, but in the aftermarket it broke that resistance. We'll see if that holds tomorrow pre-market. Okay, we have to see that resistance broken so that that SPY can go to 600. Okay, 600 will be another resistance there. If it breaks 600, it's straight to the moon. 610. Those are my thoughts on SPY. Tomorrow, if we have no other news, and the last news are that the tariffs are being removed because of a court order that told Trump that he's overstepping his power, and the court, they requested that the tariffs will be removed. We don't hear anything else before tomorrow market open. I think market is going to take it as a great news, and it's going to open in the green. That's my opinion. Based on your experience, how is trading equities? How's trading equities versus stocks? What do you mean, Milan? I didn't understand your question. Do you backtest before trading? Matthew, like if I waited for a retest, most of the time, yeah, I wait for retest. Make sure that that the retest is holding, and then I start to buy my position. If it's a good stock, you have to look at the fundamentals first. What indicators do you use, Jorge? I try to make it simple. I use the RSI, right, to let me know when a stock is overbought or oversold. I use the moving averages, which are like what most traders use. The 20 SMA, the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA, because I swing trade. If you were to do day trade, that's a little different. You would probably use the EMAs, so the exponential moving averages, because those track the closest candles. The SMAs track the entire 20 days and then average it. The EMAs, they track like the last candles, so they're closer to where the stock has been moving for the past couple of days. So those are the indicators I use mainly, and the volume, of course, to know if the stock has a lot of volume or not, because more volume means the stock can move up and down more. Less volume, it usually stays within range. What do you think about BYND? Laura, thank you for the follow, Laura. Of course, let me look at that. BYND. Beyond Meat. What does that do? Beyond Meat. Consumer non-durables food, major diversified. Okay, so it is a penny stock. And the problem with penny stocks, I mentioned earlier, they tend to pump and dump a lot. So be careful with that, Laura. On top of that, this stock is in a downtrend, what it looks like. Let me look at the weekly. Okay, so I mean, you can look at the weekly, Laura, and let's look at the 5 years. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm looking at the weekly chart, and since the down of history, 22, 22, 21. I mean, ever since forever, it looks like it's been dropping. So it is in a very nasty downtrend, and right now it's trading at $2. So maybe you know something I don't. Some news, maybe good news on this stock that is gonna push it back up. But as of now, I don't see any potential in this stock. It is in a downtrend. It is a penny stock. I don't even see big pumps or dumps. I mean, maybe a couple here, but I I I just don't see the value in this company. When you have other companies that are in an uptrend, why would I trade on a company that's in a downtrend? Okay, ask yourself that question. Why would I trade on a company that is going down, where everyone is exiting that company? Right? Just take it as if you are walking into a building where everyone is coming out. Okay, everyone is running away from that building, and you're trying to walk into that building. Why would you do that? Wouldn't you just run the same way that everyone is running? Maybe you want to be different, right? Um, but just take it as that. Why would you, when you see a downtrend like that, why would you run towards the place that people are running away from? I hope you understand that analogy. See, Matt, CBNC. Okay, we'll look at CBNC. Let me see if I have some other shares, other news to share before we leave today. I'm trying to leave by before 10:30 today. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I think I have a couple of other news. Sorry. Equities. Oh, Milan. So okay, so equities versus options. So you mean like stocks, right? Stocks versus options. I don't do um, I don't do options because with options you have to be right on two things. You have to be right on the strike price, and you also have to be right on the date for your strike price. And because you have to be right on those two things to make profits, that is very difficult to do. Okay, you could lose all your premium there. I'd rather keep equities or stocks because I'm using my own money, and with my own stocks I can do cover calls, so which means I can put a strike price above my average. If it executes, great, I made money on the difference and I made money on the premium. Or I can do cash secure puts. If I want to buy a stock at a certain price, I get my premium and I also buy the stock at the price that I want. Okay, so that's why I prefer to buy stocks than to buy options. A lot of people like options because bigger risk, bigger reward, right? Some people make like 20, $30,000 doing options, but again, it's a big risk. Earlier, I had someone in the chat. His name is Big Bug Wall Street, and he was mentioning that he lost 22K doing options. You could do a lot of money, but you could also lose a lot of money. So keep that in mind. ZBNC. Okay, let's take a look at ZBNC. ZBNC. Am I looking at the right one? Matt, I think I lost your comment. No, there we go. ZB. Oh, CN. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Market cap. Crypto. Let me put it on my other list of stuff that I don't do. CBCN. Okay, so I'll tell you right away. I don't do crypto. Reason why I don't do crypto is because I don't fully understand, how something pumps like this. I mean, you see it just in the green. When something pumps like this, Nothing tells me when is going to be the pullback, if it's going to keep moving up. Um, I have no idea. Again, it's because I'm not educated on crypto. So for me, it's really hard to trade some of these stocks because one, I don't understand crypto. I know more or less how it works, but nothing tells me because there are no earnings, because crypto doesn't sell anything, because it doesn't have a DPS, because it doesn't have PE ratio, because it doesn't have cash flow. All of those things, I don't do crypto. Okay. I don't know. I can't predict crypto. The stocks I can predict. Okay. I could say, oh, this company, because it's got revenue, it's got some deals that they close with, some countries. I have a good feeling that this company is going to continue to move up, or vice versa. No, it's not doing well. I think it's going to move down. With crypto, you have nothing like that. So that's the reason why I don't do crypto, because it could go up, it could go down. Bitcoin, I mean, you could see Bitcoin right now. It hit an all-time high of 111, I believe, and now it's just pumping down. Why? I don't know. The markets are in the green. The news on tariffs are great. Uh, I I I think Bitcoin should be moving up as well, and it's not. Why? Who knows? Okay, maybe people are putting more money into the stock market and pulling it out of Bitcoin. I have no idea. But again, that's why I don't do crypto. I just lost 700 today on options, so be careful. Caleb, thank you for bringing that up, man. Thank you, thank you. So I mean, you're a clear example. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's not a great day when you lose money in the stock market, especially if you lost 700 bucks. That's not a good feeling, right? But I hope that works and helps everyone else as a lesson. Options, big risk, big reward. You gotta prepare yourself. If you're doing options, you gotta know, hey, this could happen, and if it happens, am I gonna be okay? Am I gonna be okay without 700 bucks or $1,000 or whatever it is that you're risking? So you know, be careful with options. That's why I don't do options, because I like to take care of my cash. I lost a lot of money when I first started in the stock market, and I learned my lesson, and I said never again, never again. So now I play all the plays that I make. I'm very careful. Uh, I I watch what stocks I'm invested in. I check that the stock is a good stock that doesn't have problems with anyone, that I'm buying at a good price, that the stock has good cash flow. So I do all of this research before I enter into a stock. So it's not as easy as just buying it. You got to know what's the history of the stock. Does it have good earnings? Does it have good EPS? Okay, all of those things. I'm sorry, does it have PE ratio? Caleb, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hopefully by Friday it hits my strike. Okay, I don't know what you bought, man, but best of luck to you, and I hope you can get some of that money back. Lara, are you short or long seller? Um, Both. I do swing trades for my one of my portfolios, and I do long for my investment portfolio. So for that, I just, whenever the stocks come down, I just buy and I leave it there. I don't even look at it. For my short term, which is my swing trade portfolio, there I buy when it makes sense. When the stocks are cheap, I buy, hold it for days, weeks, months, and then I sell when it hits my target. Um, Palantir 127 strike. I mean, it could be, man. It could be Palantir. Caleb, I don't know how long you've been trading. If you have a lot of experience in the stock market, but let's look at Palantir. Palantir is a very expensive stock. Why do I say expensive? Because of its PE ratio. The PE ratio of Palantir is, I think, last time I checked, it was like 500 and some 550, I think. Let's check it out. $538. Okay. What does that mean? That means that for the money or for the earnings that Palantir report and the value of the stock, it doesn't make sense. It's very expensive because they don't make a lot of money. They make, I think, on their last report, they reported $883 million. I'll say it again, $883 million. Just to give you an idea of what that means. It's a lot of money. Okay, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of money, and I think it's a company that has potential for the future. But as of right now, it's a very expensive company. Nvidia, which Nvidia, I mean, today it was trading at 135, $135. This stock is 123. Nvidia makes 40 or made today, they reported $44 billion with the B. $44 billion. This company doesn't even get to 1 billion. So Nvidia has 43 or 44 times more earnings than Palantir, and it trades at $10 more than Palantir. You know what I mean? So I wish you best of lucks. I think Palantir right now it's probably moving along with the market. Let's see, Palantir, Palantir. I'm looking at it on my phone. 126.60. So you might get executed, Caleb. Yeah. So 126.60 as of right now. So we'll see, man. I hope you make some money on that. You holding Solana, the melon. I talked about it earlier. I don't do crypto. Uh, for those of you guys that do crypto, best of luck to you. Um, what's the ticker symbol for Solana? Is it this one? It says like Solana, the whole word. I don't know. I'm trying to like put all the crypto into this tab, because I really don't track crypto. But when you guys ask me, I'm like, yeah, I'll look at it, but I don't do crypto. Um, well, right now I can tell you from the technicals, it is at barely holding that 200 SMA support. You see that orange line? It's trying to break below it. So careful on that. I don't know if you're trying to enter into a position here. I would wait to see whether this stock is going to have support above the 200 or resistance below the 200. So that way I know where it's going to go. Right now, it doesn't even tell me where it wants to go. So, T, you hold? No, okay. I appreciate it. Caleb, no problem. No problem. Um, just keep an eye on that. Always check the fundamentals of the company. How much cash flow they have, how much money they have on earnings. Does it make sense? Especially the PE ratio. Does it make sense right now? I'm not saying that Palantir is not a good company. Palantir, I think it's got a lot of potential for the future, but as of right now, it is a very expensive company. What happens with those companies that are very expensive? Whenever there are bad news, they tend to drop, 10-20%. Okay, because investors know that that company is already expensive. Now when you buy a company that is not that expensive, they don't really drop that much. I mean, they drop 5%, 3%, when they have bad news, because it's a company that already has a good PE ratio when it's a good company. So they typically don't drop as much as companies that have a high PE ratio. Again, is because investors are already looking at that company, and they know exactly when a company is very expensive, when a company is affordable, and they don't run away from it. If investors see that there are bad news on Palantir, they just want to get out. They want to get out because they have profits. They leave the stock, and because they're taking their shares with them or their money with them, then they sell off. And when they sell off, obviously the stock drops. So investors are very smart. This is what they do for a living. So they'll just walk away from that company. Okay, so perfect. All right, so let me just share one more thing before I leave tonight, and with that we will end the live. So today, today we also had another report that probably nobody paid attention to, which is the Fed minutes. The Fed minutes is just a book or a report that the Federal Reserve has that show the public why is it that they didn't cut rates a couple weeks ago when Jerome Powell spoke. For those of you that don't know Jerome Powell, he's the president of the Federal Reserve. He's the boss. He's the one that says, yeah, we're gonna cut rates, or no, we're not gonna cut rates. And for those of you that are familiar with with the interest rates, you guys know that we've been having high interest rates for the past year and a half or 2 years. They've been very high, especially for home buying. Um, Rates have been in the high seven or the high six to the low sevens, 7.1, 6.5. That when you buy a house, especially with the prices of today, makes a home very unaffordable and leaves a lot of people out of the market because they can't afford it, right? Even if you buy an average price of a house is about 400,000 right now. If you get a house like that at a 6% or 7% rate, your payment is over $3,000, like $3,500 to $4,000, depending on how much money you put down. And that's very expensive. Not everyone can buy or pay for a mortgage of $4,000 a month. So, anyways, these guys, the Federal Reserve, they released that book today explaining to the public why is it that they are not cutting rates. And they said the same thing they've been saying for the past couple meetings. They said, well, we don't have clarity on what the tariffs are going to do to the economy. Is it going to create more inflation? Which that's what they're worried about, inflation. They keep bringing it up every time they meet. So are the tariffs going to create more inflation? And if they are, then we cannot drop rates, because if people are buying at higher prices and they just keep buying, that creates more inflation, right? More higher prices. And they don't want that. Okay, they want people to stop buying. They want people to let the economy cool down a little bit so that they can drop rates. So basically, they just said, well, we need more clarity on the tariffs. Lucky enough, after the market closed, like maybe 3-4 hours after they reported this, the federal court of Manhattan, they announced that they are going to be removing the tariffs that Trump imposed on April 2nd because he's overstepping his power. He doesn't have the power to do that. And of course, the administration filed an appeal, and we'll hear more of that tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. Probably tomorrow morning. So if you guys don't follow me yet, I'll be dropping some news on that tomorrow as soon as I hear what Trump says, because I'm pretty sure he's going to say something tomorrow morning. I guarantee it. You're going to see it on either on my story or on a video that I post. So he's going to manifest and he's going to say something about what happened, with the courts in Manhattan. So, anyways, now that we remove the tariffs, maybe the feds will see, okay, now we don't have a tariffs. We don't have something that's going to create more inflation. Now we have a clear path to where we want interest rates to go. And they might start dropping some of those rates or announce that they will be dropping some rates in the near future. So I'm crossing my fingers. I hope we do see lower interest rates because they're pretty high right now. A lot of people are out of the market. I'm not looking to buy anything, but I know for a good, healthy economy, we do have to have reasonable rates. And for people to buy homes, because a lot of people want to buy homes, the rates need to be lower. The rates need to be at least holding 5%, 4.5%. If the rates stay at 4.5% to 5% for buying homes, I think that's a pretty reasonable rate. I don't think they're gonna get here, this year, but I do see that probably the high fives next year, and then 2027 probably we'll see the 4.5% to 5%. So we'll see what happens. But again, just wanted to share that with you. Shared all the news that that came out. We had a lot today. I mean, all the news that we had today will influence the market tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're probably gonna wake up with the green day. I'm pretty sure. So I'll be reporting that. I'll be talking to you guys about it at the end of the day tomorrow. So if you guys are here tomorrow in the live, I would talk to you guys about how the market went, what my positions are. I'm hoping to close some positions soon, or maybe do some cover calls, get some money out of that. So hopefully tomorrow we all have a green and happy day in the market. So anyways, thank you everyone for stopping by, for giving me some of your time today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about everything that happened tomorrow. And again, follow my my profile, and I'll be dropping some news on the response from the Trump administration on dropping the tariffs by the federal court in Manhattan. So with that said, I hope you guys have an excellent night. EA, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. For those of you that stayed all the live, Julie, I know you've been here since probably like the beginning of the live, so I appreciate it. Jorge, Tito, and all of you guys that joined my live today. Caleb, appreciate it. So I will see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great night, and I will see you soon.